Welcome to this live podcast, which I'm giving every Monday. At least I try to do it every Monday. I'm Dominique. I'm a 10x performance coach. And today we're going to talk specifically about the 10 times more. Because if you're not making your revenue as an entrepreneur or a business owner, it probably isn't because your goals are not big. It's probably because you keep them too small. And I want you to be realizing how important it is to look at how big your goals can be. 10x, 10 times more, means so much more than just working harder. It also means just making sure that you're performing better. And if you don't have the mindset and the thinking that 10 times more is not to scare you, but is actually to help you to perform better, you will see that it makes a big difference in how you will take up those things. So if you want to participate in this live, I suggest that you put in the chat a little comment of, do you feel that your goals are too small, or do you think you just make them to be realistic? And even if they seem to be realistic, you might not even reach them. So what does it really mean being realistic? So I really invite you to think that through and to see what that means for yourself. But what I want to do in the 15 minutes that I will be talking to you is getting through the different processes of thinking 10x and making sure that you have a right understanding of what it means and that it doesn't scare you, but it will just help you to get in a better position. Okay. So the first thing is, first of all, what does it mean when you go into a goal and you realize that that goal is something that you would like to expand? You would like to have more of it. And so giving you an example, if you're making a 50,000 euro revenue every year, and you feel that you actually want to go to 100 or 150,000, you might think this is just impossible for me. I see this with my clients. When I ask them to multiply what they're thinking, they're having this scareness and saying, I will never be able to do that. But when we break it down in small pieces, in reverse engineering, like we like to call it, and it's a technical kind of way of saying things, but it's actually looking at the big picture and then going backwards to see how much it really is on a daily basis and even on an hourly basis. And sometimes we end up with actually having a number that is maybe 40 euros an hour. And then you're thinking, okay, well, if I need to do my business and I can ask 40 euros an hour to get me to that 100, 150,000, then that's not difficult. But how much actions am I willing to take to get there? It's always the same thing. And the thinking is not about only making things that are going to help you to move into one piece at a time, but it also helps you to get motivation, to get inspiration, to build something that is going beyond what you think is possible. Because each one of us have a potential that is much bigger than what you realize. And once that you have that knowledge of, okay, my thinking actually brings me in a situation, in a path moving forward that is extending and it's giving it much bigger than what we think, you will see that each step that you will take to get there is going to give you the drive, the motivation, and will get you where you need to be. Don't think about the how. It's a big tip here. Don't think about how am I going to do this, because the how, it kills every dream. Honestly, it really kills every dream. You don't want to have that. What you want is that you want to think more in the sense of, okay, what is it that I have to do to get there now? Who can I speak to that can help me to get there? What are the things that will move me forward? Those sentences are going to help you to extend your thinking. So the first thing that I would suggest you do is, if you don't, if you haven't made your goals yet, it's time to do it. We're already in February now, but set up your goals. And honestly, the goals, you can set them every single day, every single month. I'm working with them every single day. I can tell you, in the morning, evening, but write them down. Write down, what are your goals? make them smart. I have talked about this several times in many calls, in many lives, on YouTube, on my channel, Your Next Me podcast, or even in all my posts. But if you have a target and the target is not smart, it will not put the right intention in front of you. So you have to make it smart, specific, measurable, achievable, results driven, so realistic, and as well time frame. So put a time frame behind it. And when I'm saying realistic, not realistic in thinking small, but realistic in how much action I can take to get me to my dreams and to get me to my goals. So you set your goals smart, and then you just do the exercise and you multiply them by 10 in your thinking. So if it is a revenue number, that's easy. I want to have 50,000 a year, or I earn 50,000 a year. Well, times 10, that's 500,000. I did this exercise with a client as well, who said, 500,000, my God, never in my whole life I will be able to make that. I said, well, why is it that you are not able to make it where other people have been able to make it? I'm sorry, I have to to drink a little bit. That's life, right? I don't know if I will cut it out of my podcast. I will probably leave it in there, because that's all what I like about doing those things, is just being yourself and just showing how you are, not faking things, but just being who you are. That's also me being 10x. It's just showing who I am, being transparent, and it's part of who I am. So anyway, so I was saying, I had a client who was saying 500,000 is just impossible. Imagine, I don't really see how I can do this. Here we go again. It's the how. Forget about the how. We went down, checked out what she asked for price. Then we drilled it down to that reverse engineering until we got to how much would you need to sell something in a day to somebody. So does that mean that we ended up, I can't remember exactly what it was, but let's say 2,000 euros a day. And then she said, yeah, but my product is actually 5,000 euro in average. I said, okay, well, that means that you need to go for half of the number of clients that we thought you would need first. She said, okay, well, actually, that sounds like quite easy to achieve. Easy is a word that we sometimes translate like, easy but not achievable, or easy but I don't want to do the efforts, or easy, it's difficult. When I do something that sounds easy, it is not always easy, but I have the courage and the commitment to go through that, because I want to make it easy. And it's only by doing it frequently that it becomes easy and that it becomes a lot better. So here again, I cannot take off my notifications right now. Anyway, so here again, what is important is that you write down your goals and you try to multiply them by 10. Not everything is multipliable by 10, but your efforts are, your numbers are, your amount of clients that you want to contact every day is, your way of being energetic. If you're like down, your shoulders are down, well, stand straight and do 10 jumping jacks. You will see what type of energy you will get already out of that. So even smiling, I see so many people not smiling in a day anymore. And your attitude is so important to get to those 10x goals. If you're not having the right attitude, you will not have the right energy. You will not be able to attract the right clients. So get the smile on your face. Even if you're not well in your body, you will see that smile will help you a lot more to get to your results. So give it a 10x smile. Give it 10 times more of a smile to people, even if you don't know them. But you see, thinking through the 10x will give you so much better results. If somebody is telling you no to an offer that you made, go back to that person and follow up at least 10 times, because it's between 8 and 10 times that people usually say yes. But if you stop after 1 or 2 times following up, it stops there. and somebody else will take this client for their business. So in that 10x mindset, it is about multiplying everything you do. And so if you're even with your family and you have a nice dinner, well, what are the 10 little things that you can do to make the atmosphere better, to help? You can give a compliment, you can dress the table, you can help making the food, you can even suggest a little game. I mean, you see, it's in all pieces of your life. But the happiness that you will feel while you do this, and it's also the principle, it's one of the 13 rules of success, is giving, giving, giving. So if you're giving 10 times more, you will get 10 times more results. If you're doing 10 times more effort, you will get 10 times better results. If you're willing to achieve things in your life and you're committed every day by writing this down, taking action, meeting with the right people, calling on your clients, following up with them, and making this a passion and a mission for you, and you do that with the 10x mindset, you will see that everything becomes a lot easier and your results will be a lot better in that context as well. So once that you have done this, it's not a matter of just writing it down, it's a matter of living it. It's taking it up, it's making it your own. And you will not be able to 10x everything if you're not understanding what you will have to change and give up for it. Because if you continue keeping doing the things like you do them, and you still expect to have 10 times more results based on what you have put yourself as a smart goal, again, it's not going to work. It absolutely is not going to work, because you have to make sure that you're putting yourself in a position to get there. All right. So if you are, for example, having the habit to spend, I don't know, the whole evening being in front of the TV, and that is, a good thing to relax sometimes, even if depends what you're watching, because if you're watching the bad news, it's going to drain your energy, and I can tell you it's making you negative as well. I don't want to watch it anymore. But if you're there just not to do anything, why would you continue doing that if you have a bigger goal to achieve? Why would you not spend that evening maybe with people that can help you to be inspired and motivate you? So go to a network, meet people that have done things prior than you, that have maybe achieved already big things, or spend some time reading a book that can help you as well to get your mindset into that direction. Or if you have things to learn to get there, then you can go and get a course that can help you to learn those things. So it's not a matter of working more. It's just a matter of choosing the things that you need to change that can help you to achieve that, and take passion into it. When I went for my certification with Grant Cardone in the US, I had to make, the effort to go through all his courses to get that certification. Some people take a year to do those. I wanted to go fast because I really wanted to make sure that I could have my certificate as soon as I was going to start my business. And I did it in 3 months. 3 months, honestly, is not much. I had to study at least for 4 to 5 hours a day, with no exception, and making all the exercises, taking notes, and going from one level to the other. And then I ended up going to Miami for the 2 days of certification and getting, the final round in this. I was scared. I had no idea what I was doing. I knew that I had an objective and I wanted to go there, and I took all I had to get there. And once I arrived there, I was surrounded by so many people that did so many more things than I did before, but they inspired me. They kept me in the belief that my potential was not there yet, but I was willing to do everything I could to expand that and to get it bigger. And today, I'm part of the exclusive group of coaches, and we're only 37 right now out of the 600 that are certified. I'm part of that group that can help Grant to to teach other people to be better and in a better position. And I'm using his methods in my butterfly principle because I also believe that you need time to get through a transformation. And a butterfly, if you keep it into a cocoon and the caterpillar, you're not breaking out of things. You're staying in what you know. And to go 10 times bigger, you need to crack, the thing, and you need to fly out. And once that you do that, the colors and what you see and everything you can do gives you so much more energy and so much more willingness to do even more of those things. So those that are listening to this and follow through, maybe other coaches as well, you probably keep hearing that you have to have a goal, and you keep hearing that you need to have your commitment, and that you need to basically move on even in fear and getting out of your comfort zone. But those principles and those things, we all teach them in different ways, but they all come back to the same thing: is what are you willing to do to make your life better, to give your profession a chance to succeed and live from it, having that financial freedom at one point, because you're taking the money, investing it somewhere that can help you to get in that position. It doesn't always go about money. It also is about giving back, making sure that you're enjoying what you're doing. I'm helping a guy I don't even know. His name is James in Uganda. You might have heard my story before. He came across my name on the website from Grant, and he reached out to me and he said, I want to go big. I want to build a mall. And he had he still has a grocery store. But in the meantime, he has been extending his thinking so big that he has involved me now in his project, and I'm willing to help him. And it doesn't, I'm also supporting him financially, but I see this dream with him. I see this big, and I see myself doing something there as well that is big, and it gives me motivation. Am I going to earn a lot of money with it? I don't care. It's obviously a goal that he wants to have, and I'm helping him to get there. But my goal towards him is different. In my business, yes, I want to extend my revenue as well. And I want to get to a place where I can say, hey, I made it as an entrepreneur. I have been able to also pay for the salary of other people, or at least engage other people in my project so I can give them a better life as well. And my clients, honestly, I'm just attracting those clients that I like to work with, because they're willing to go in that extra mile as well. And even if they don't have they don't feel it right now, let's say that they have the self-confidence to get there, well, then use my self-confidence. I will give it to you. But don't stay there waiting that things are happening for you if you're not doing anything to make it happen. Okay, so you will always have to be the one that takes the decision of how far you want to go in this. But don't keep yourself small. Don't keep it small because you're afraid to think big. Thinking big will get you to a much better place than if you keep yourself small. All right, so take that exercise, try it out, and see what happens. If it scares you, then this is a good point, because it means that your goals are big enough. If it doesn't scare you, it means it's still not big enough, and you'll have to do the exercise again. All right, so I have programs enough to help you. I can really look at what you need and then check out what is the thing that you would have to use right now as the first thing to get you to that clarity. I'm using the immersion days. It's days where I really help you to have that self-reflection and think big. This is almost the first step to get you to the next level. And this is something I do with a lot of people. And then afterwards, you can choose to be coached individually or in group. But in any case, for each one, I do have something that can help you to get in a better space. All right. So have a great day, and I'll see you next Monday. Bye.